are lots of different ways to frame the same message. And it's interesting that he says that, because that's kind of what we do sometimes when we're working with some of our social media ads or some of our pay-per-click ads, that we can say the same thing in some different ways. And sometimes those different ways connect with people or our audience better than what we thought maybe it was the first time.
Anyway, with that as kind of maybe an introduction, who was one of your favorites and speakers from Funnel Hacking Live that maybe you want to highlight?
Sure. Yeah. No, met a lot of the speakers, talked to them, but somebody who I thought was pretty down to earth, had ideas I wouldn't say are brand new, but certainly very solid ideas. Jim Edwards was a pretty fantastic speaker, and
he's a popular copywriter.
He is a copywriter, right? He used to be a journalist and kind of got into sales copy for ads and landing pages, etc. And used to be graded on the quality of the performance of his articles or ads that he would put together. He came up with a principle, and it's not exactly the same, and it's been referred to different ways from different people, but the concept is hook, story, offer, right? So get a hook, be disruptive, grab their attention, tell them a brief piece of information that somebody can relate to, and give them an offer on how that could apply to them, by and large. But he brought up something that's kind of an interesting thought. It's thought-provoking. And he mentioned that in all of his years and the things that he's done, he's noticed that there are always patterns to success, and successful ads, successful landing pages, all the things digital. So he just said that, hey, there's always success patterns. Sometimes they're obvious, sometimes they're not. But if you have an eye for it or not, just try and focus on what is that pattern. So look for the pattern, and once you figure out what that pattern is, then you can use it for yourself.
Model it.
Doesn't mean you have to copy exactly word for word an ad you saw that works, because maybe it doesn't. But if you see ads that are successful, there's something the ad does or something the ad says, or a way that the verbiage is structured, certain kind of an offer, whatever it may be. He brought up an interesting point, and he said that there are lots of different ways to frame the same message. And it's interesting that he says that, because that's kind of what we do sometimes when we're working with some of our social media ads or some of our pay-per-click ads, that we can say the same thing in some different ways. And sometimes those different ways connect with people or our audience better than what we thought maybe it was the first time. So he mentioned, I wrote this down in my notes, that there are no less than 2 to 3 ways to say the same ad or copy on a landing page. There are always several ways to do it. And he was encouraging in a way that, hey, if you've tried it once and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean it's dead. It doesn't mean it's a bad message. Maybe it's okay, but you just have to say it differently. So testing was kind of a big deal. Try running, different ads to the same page, see which ad performs best. Try running different ads to different pages, see which ad page combination works the best. Anyway, just a neat thing. And then he brought up a concept that has lived in my psyche for a couple of years now. I don't have the notebook in front of me. I filled it up a long time ago. But there was a gentleman that I heard at a conference that's a video and branding expert. And he talked about that there are 6 to 8 different video types that everyone should be using and what they do. And long gone are the days when, and I remember them very well, because what was just 6 or 7 years ago, right, people were still using these. What I like to refer to as the hero script. Jim referred to it as the soapbox script, but essentially standing out there or getting attention saying, I'm the best, or I'm the number one. And I remember writing title tags and meta descriptions and heading tags with that term, the best X in X location. And maybe that's like the best dentist in Southeast Idaho or something like that.
Right.
And the concept behind that is that, people wanted to get a quality a quality service or a quality product, or work with the best person at it, right? They wanted to skip all of the headache and just go right to the right person or the right thing or the right service. And the concept still remains, but the psyche, the behavioral part of people have changed as we have adapted to making online searches. How we search, what speaks to us has changed, right? Even there are new generations that are introduced, right? We've got the X Gen, Y Gen, Xennials, et cetera, and how people are searching based on what they want to find. And what we're finding is that people are, and this is also what he was trying to convey, people are trying to make a good decision, but they don't want to be told what the decision is. They want to be guided. And so the concept is you should have less of the I'm the best at, or I'm the top, or I'm the number one, and more along the lines of here's what you might be thinking, or here's what you might be considering, and here are some options. Now, with options, you can always guide people into which option might work best. But if you give them choices, then everyone feels empowered. So really, really interesting concept. And like even within the last couple of weeks, I have seen ads not only online, billboards that have said, I'm the number one real estate agent in Idaho, or the best surgeon, rated number one the last 4 years in a row, or we are a 5-star dentist. And that's great. Congratulations. That's kind of how I feel about it. But how does that help me to solve my problem, or what it is I might want?
I think consumers, generally speaking, want to learn for themselves what's best for them. And so when service providers, any business, stands up and says, I'm the number one fill in the blank, or I'm your solution, it's like, well, how do you know? Like, you don't even know me. You don't know my situation. But I think there's some power in helping consumers discover for themselves that we are the best. And I know in professional selling, when a salesperson tells the prospective buyer all of the features and all of the benefits of why this product or service is going to be awesome and wonderful, the prospect naturally has some skepticism. They kind of say, well, of course you're going to say that.
Yeah, but how do you know?
You want me to buy from you. Of course you're going to say how great and wonderful it is. But if I ask questions like, how would this help you? Or in what way would this make a difference for you? And I say the benefits, then I'm discovering those benefits personally myself, and I believe them. But when they come out of a salesperson's mouth or a billboard or an ad, I'm like, well, you're just trying to sell me. So I think a really interesting point to get away from the hero speech, the soapbox speech, the I'm the number one speech. Help your prospective buyers learn and discover for themselves why you're number one, why you're so great and wonderful.
Correct. So, yeah. Well, and if I could just summarize that point, stop saying you're the best. No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying don't portray the message in that way. There are better ways that will be more successful than just stating your pride and ego, but guide your prospective customer or client or patient. Make them feel empowered by the message you have, because they're the ones who chose you, rather than you telling them that you're the option.
And a quick, easy example of how, say, a dentist or a chiropractor or a CPA might do that is through actually a testimonial. When you have one of your customers or clients say, before I met Dr. So-and-so, I was struggling with this and frustrated with that, and I was having a hard time with this. But after meeting with him, and going through this process, now I'm happy, I'm skinny, my teeth are white, my life is so much.
I've lost 50 pounds.
Right. I'm so much happier. All of that is coming out of the mouth of a customer. It's not the dentist, or it's not the engineer or the architect saying I'm number one. It's a customer client. But number two is the viewers and watchers are kind of going on this emotional journey along with the customer, kind of this before and after. So I think a simple tactic to apply this, get away from the hero speech, the soapbox speech, is just have more testimonial style ads where customers are kind of describing the before and after experience that they've had with you. So
Sure.